Sometimes I've wondered what the point is. Is this journey dim, leading me somewhere? Is someone there? Does someone care? This life is wearing thin on my torn heart. Sometimes I've wondered where the light is, 'cause the darkness is heavy on my skin. Does it matter? Is it worth it? Like a blind man, a stumble in the wind. I'm just struggling on this journey back to him. Give me hope, let me feel your love. Open up the clouds and let your light shine from above. And give me faith that you can lead me home. Shine your light on me so my soul can see I am not alone. In small moments I glimpse your majesty. You give me windows through which I see my true worth. I need your rest, I need your power, every minute of every hour, my king. 'Cause this bitter world is towering over me. Give me hope, let me feel your love. Open up the clouds and let your light shine from above. And give me faith that you can lead me home. Shine your light on me so my soul can see I am not alone. In the jungle of my fears, in the ocean of my tears, in the caves, the pits, the fire, you have conquered all my hurt. You are master of the earth, loving Father, grant me this one desire. Give me hope, let me feel your love. Open up the clouds and let your light shine from above. And give me faith that even me you can lead home. Shine your light on me so my soul believes I am not alone. Oh, I am not alone. A modern girl in a messed up world, hoping, begging, wishing someone makes her feel okay. She's just a modern girl in a messed up world, broken, lonely, wondering will the hurt ever go away. She's been to hell and back again, then back to hell, then back to him. She thinks she's still worthless on her own. All her dreams are torn apart with cloud in mind and broken heart. The lies all say she'll never quite belong, but they are wrong, 'Cause you are more than a victim, a lone child in the dark. You are more than a mistake, than a heartbreak, than a scar. You are more than you think you are. Modern guy with broken life. The drugs, the girls, the games, the cars just mask the throbbing pain. He's just a modern guy with a broken life, filling up his free time, trying to find offense and blame. He's been to hell and back again, then back to hell, then back to sin. It's the only home he's ever known. His life's like mountains up and down on peaks. He's seen the sun shine around through the clouds, but then it's gone, gone, gone. It's just the darkness before the dawn. 'Cause you are more than a victim, a lost child in the dark. You are more than a mistake, than a heartbreak, than a scar. You are more. Oh, you are more than you think you are. I'm a modern person on this earth. I relive the past every time I close my eyes. I'm just a modern person on this earth. Apathy and innocence, though poison, are my disguise. I've been to hell and back again, then back to hell, then back, my friend. Sometimes I think I liked it on my own. And I showed the flag and dressed my scars and told my lover just how hard it was. But I'm giving that all up. 'Cause I am more than a victim, just a child in the dark. I am more than my mistakes, than my heartbreaks, than my scars. And I can do more than I think I can. I am more. Oh, I am more than I think I am. Don't intellectualize or rationalize, minimize or believe the lies. The being of this world will be just fine. No omitting, blaming, distracting, no more comparing, lying, acting, 'cause we are more than flesh and bone in space and time. We are divine.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Very excited for this event, Miracles, a suicide and mental health awareness virtual concert. If you're joining us live or if you're watching the recording, thank you so much for taking time to view this concert. I'm just so happy for everyone who's come together to put this on and for all the support for such an important topic. We've got a lot planned for tonight, and I'm so excited to hear from everybody. We have amazing musicians and speakers who are going to share their experiences and stories and things that are going to help people who are going through something right now or have been impacted by suicide and mental health in any way. Here are the musicians for tonight. We have Ganae, Dakota Striplin, Nathan Osmond, Sadie Anderson, Nate Terry, Lisa Benson, and Becky Hilton. We're also going to hear from John Gossett, the founder of the Life's Worth Living Foundation, and he's going to be doing some trainings that he does suicide education and prevention with his nonprofit foundation, and we're so grateful to have partnered with him. We also have a special surprise, and we'll be able to hear from Nicole tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about Nicole's story throughout the evening. I'd like to get started by hearing from Ganae. Ganae is an awesome friend, and I love her music. I love her songs and her personality. She's written several songs about mental health, and I'm very excited to hear from her tonight.
Hey everyone, my name is Ganae. I am so happy and grateful to be a part of this evening. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. I am grateful to be here because I love mental health. I love emotional health, spiritual and physical. I love all health and wellness. And I think that love has come because it has discovering these things and discovering how to be healthy has allowed me to be free. I think a lot of us don't take care of ourselves in the way that we want to because it feels selfish. And because we're afraid of what other people will think if we're doing what we actually need to do to take care of ourselves. But the truth of the matter is there is nothing more valuable in this life, in this whole earth, than a human life. You just can't ever replace it. It is the most valuable thing. And that includes you and your life. You're allowed to ask for help, to be a burden, to be annoying sometimes. You're allowed to do that because your value is so great. You're loved, you matter, you're important. Okay, I'm rambling now, but I just wanted you to know that you're allowed to live your life, and you're allowed to live it the way that you want to live it, to be healthy. And all of this I've discovered through learning about emotional health and mental health. These are the things that will help us to want to live and to get up and face another day somehow when it seems impossible or pointless. I chose a song called Shoulder to Shoulder to remind myself and each of us that we can ask for help and we can be there for each other and we can love each other and we don't have to be alone, and you're not alone. You're understood by a lot of us, and the things that we can't understand, we can empathize with. And I feel very strongly about that. I love you. I'm sending out warmth and comfort to those who need it. And I hope that you enjoy this song. Well, I haven't been sleeping all that well. My mind is a constant carousel where the horses run wild until the boardwalk ends. Each one has a rider, and I think I know them. These faces familiar, with eyes so deep, like craters in novels or instinct. I tell them my troubles, all of my cold conflicts. There are no answers, sometimes there is no fix. So we stand shoulder to shoulder, we stand side by side, we stand shoulder to shoulder around the fire. We stand shoulder to shoulder. shoulder, we stand side by side. There is no burden to shoulder alone this time. When my mind keeps on racing, it's a speeding car. Through wastelands and gardens wide and far. And the cities all crumble, brick by brick, while I'm stuck on the top floor watching it give. We stand shoulder to shoulder, we stand side by side, we stand shoulder to shoulder around the fire. We stand shoulder to shoulder, we stand side by side. There is no burden to shoulder alone this time. We stand shoulder to shoulder around the fire.
Thank you, Ganae, for that beautiful song and your words. We have more to come. We've got so many amazing people involved in this event. Right now, we're going to be able to hear from John Gossett. John Gossett is the founder of the Life's Worth Living Foundation. And his foundation does educational training about suicide prevention and awareness. And he's done so much for so many people and so many families. And I'm just so grateful to have partnered with him tonight. Throughout this evening, he's going to do 4 training videos about suicide. And I think this will really help educate us and help us learn wherever we are, how we can better deal with this very important topic and help those who are struggling, whether that is ourselves or someone that we love and care about.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Gossett, president of Life's Worth Living Foundation, and I've been asked to be a part of tonight's event for Nicole Hilton. You know, I'm very honored to have been invited to take a few minutes and share some thoughts on suicide prevention. You know, probably one of the biggest questions I'm ever asked is there always signs? Are there always signs that accompany a suicide attempt or someone dying by suicide? And the answer is no, but the majority of the time there are signs. The problem is that most of the time we don't notice them until it's too late. So that's why I'm here tonight. I want to share a couple of thoughts. They're going to be brief in nature, but generally there's 3 ways that we can see signs of someone that's in suicide crisis. And those 3 things are in the way they talk, the way they behave, and their moods. So I'm going to break down those just real briefly. Sometimes we'll hear someone say, you know, I wished I could go to sleep and never wake up again. Sometimes we'll hear them say, everyone would be better off without me. No one would notice I was gone. Things that would lead you to believe that maybe something's going on. Maybe they're struggling. If you hear any of those things, you could probably have a conversation with them. Behavior, you say, gosh, how would behavior be something that we'd recognize? Well, a lot of times it appears in risky behavior. For some, that might be just not wearing a seatbelt when they get in their car. For others, it could be driving recklessly with no thought to their life meaning anything or being of any value. Sometimes it could be risky sexual behavior. Sometimes you have an outgoing person, somebody that likes to be around people, and they withdraw or they isolate. So those types of forms of behavior could be key components to letting you know that someone you love is thinking about suicide. Now, moods can also play into this. If you generally have someone that's happy, pretty good mood most of the time, if all of a sudden you see them slip into a depression, that could be a sign that they're thinking about suicide. Now, exactly opposite of that, if you have somebody whose moods are generally low and all of a sudden they become happy, that can be a sign as well. And so you have to watch for their moods. Now, these are going to adjust from person to person, but you need to be aware of it. Think of those things. If someone is acting differently in their talk, in their behavior, or in their moods, they could be thinking about suicide. Now, when we come back, I'm going to tell you how to have that conversation, how to ask the question. So I'll see you in a bit. Again, thanks for being part of Nicole's night tonight. Appreciate you.
Thank you, John, for that training, and I'm excited to hear from you throughout this evening on more of these important subjects. I know that I've personally had some of those thoughts that you mentioned about not thinking that life is worth living, and I have many friends who have also been there and thought those thoughts. And it's important for us to really care about each other and observe each other and watch out for each other. And I appreciate the way that you taught that. I want to share a little bit about my cousin Nicole. Nicole is just an amazing, amazing person, and we, we're the same age, and grew up. Me at the northern part of Utah, and her at the southern part. And over the last couple of years, especially, we've talked a lot. And many of you watching this right now have been watching her story and following her story for the last 3 months. Yeah, 3 months ago, my cousin Nicole jumped off a cliff in St. George, and she fell a long ways, and broke nearly every bone in her body, and punctured some organs. And we didn't think that she would make it at some points, but she did, and she's with us, and I'm so grateful and happy that you're still with us, Nicole. And she's been in the hospital for 3 months, and she just went home, and I'm just happy that she's doing well and improving. And we're going to hear from her here in a little bit, and so I'm so excited to hear from her. Right now, we're going to hear from my friend Dakota Striplin. He's going to talk a little bit and share a really beautiful song. So here's Dakota.
Hello, my name is Dakota Striplin, and I'm very excited to be a part of such an important gathering today on this live stream. This is such an important issue that we need to talk about, that people might feel alone and might feel like their life isn't worth living. So this song that I've chosen to sing, Rainbow, is I think when I listen to it, I think of it as like a friend talking to someone else, telling them that their life is worth living, even though they might not be able to see it at this time, that they are loved, and that there's always been a rainbow above them, that they are worth it and they are worthy. And yeah, so I love this song, and I want to share it with you guys, and hopefully if you're going through something, that you'll be able to feel that that people do love you. I love you. Heavenly Father loves you. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the song. When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice. It ain't raining anymore. It's hard to breathe when all you know is the struggle of staying above the rising water line. But the skies are finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in that same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella, darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. If you could see what I see, you'll be blinded by the colors, yellow, red, orange, and green, and at least a million others. So tie up the bow, take off your coat, and take a look around. Yeah, the skies are finally open, the rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in that same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella, and darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. So tie up the bow, take off your coat, and take a look around. 'Cause everything is alright now. Yeah, the skies are finally open, the rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in that same old storm again. And you hold tight to your umbrella, and darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
Thank you, Dakota, for that awesome song. Isn't that amazing? I love that song, and we just have such amazing musicians who have agreed to be on this event with no, monetary gain, just to do it because this is an important subject to them, and they want to support those going through something and support Nicole with what she's gone through, and anyone who's been impacted by suicide or mental health. So thank you to all of these wonderful musicians. I love that song. I love the lyric, "It ain't raining anymore." Sometimes in life, those rain clouds, the rainstorms follow us around, and it's hard to realize when they've passed, and that we're out of the rainstorm, and that rainbows are over our heads. And so I'm grateful for that reminder and that song. We're gonna hear now from Nathan Osmond, who's also a very dear friend, and I love his story. I love his song, and I hope you enjoy it as well.
Hi, I'm Nathan Osmond, and I'm honored to be part of this event here tonight. I want to thank my friend Ben Anderson for inviting me to be here. All of us have been affected by suicide in one way or another. I lost a cousin, my cousin Michael, to suicide, and I tell you, every single day I think about him and his family and just the lives that have been affected by that one decision. He was going through things I had no clue he was going through, and I wish I would have known. I wish I would have been able to reach out and help. And that's the whole point of tonight, is bringing awareness to suicide, to mental health and mental illness, and being able to be there for these our family, our friends who are going through some of the darkest moments of the soul. One of my heroes spoke at my cousin's funeral, because the first comment I got on my Facebook page after my cousin jumped was, "Your cousin's going straight to hell." And I thought, wow, I didn't know God was my friend on Facebook. How insensitive people can be. But my hero, Thomas S. Monson, spoke at my cousin's funeral, and he said something very powerful. He said, "It is my firm belief that in most cases, those who take their lives for whatever reason are so clouded mentally that they are not held responsible for their action." Close quote. He said, "You will be with Michael again." And that came from the prophet of our church. So I'm really just brought so much hope to our lives. I had a chance to record an album recently, And as you know, we're losing about 22 veterans a day to suicide, and I'm a big, passionate supporter of our troops. So we wanted to do a song for them, but we addressed the teenagers, the young people. We addressed the veterans in this song, as well as our seniors, because we're losing a lot of seniors. They just get to that point in their life, maybe their loved one passes on and they just have nothing to live for. So we wanted to write a song. We call this our life-saving song. It's actually saved a couple lives, and we hope that it touches your heart here tonight. It's called Don't Go There.
She was beautiful, so picturesque, surrounded by family love and happiness. But blinded, she couldn't see those things. An angel meant to fly wouldn't clip your wings. Don't go there. No, not that far. God will come and bring you home right where you are. Just reach out. You're not alone. There's nothing that you've done that you can't come back home. When you hear those demons call you in the midst of your despair, oh, don't go there. He was a soldier, a decorated vet. He couldn't get past the wounds of war and his regrets. He left us here way before his time, and a child left to wonder why Daddy crossed that line. Don't go there. No, not that far. Well, God will come and bring you home right where you are. Just reach out. You're not alone. There's nothing that you've done that you can't come back home. When you hear those demons call you from the midst of your despair, oh, don't go there. Together 50 years, now she's gone. He's lost his love, his will to live and carry on. But someone up above was listening when he prayed. At the point of no return, he heard a sweet voice say, don't go there. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Thank you, Nathan, for that beautiful song. And thank you for all you've done for those who are struggling. I know you've spoken about this subject many times. You've done events like this. You've written songs, and I know you've been there for me personally when I've been struggling and I've reached out to you. So thank you so much. Nicole, my cousin, has just returned home, and I'm so excited that she's finally home. And I know her family is glad that she can be home again, and she can spend her time there, continuing her recovery, her physical recovery, and her emotional and mental recovery. And I know it's a long process. And Nicole, she's been doing a lot of physical therapy on her upper body. Her lower body is still unresponsive. I know it's going to be a long journey. And something like this isn't easy to get over, but I know that she will recover, and that she is so strong. and that she can make it. If you can donate to help Nicole and her family as she continues her recovery with medical expenses, with making their home wheelchair accessible, with buying wheelchairs and vehicles that are wheelchair accessible, I know her family would really, really appreciate it. And many of you have donated to the GoFundMe, so thank you so much. We've partnered with the Life's Worth Living Foundation for this event, so you can donate through them, and it's 100% tax deductible because they are a nonprofit. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to help Nicole and her family. And so if you'd like to donate, you can go to Venmo and Venmo Life's Worth Living. And when you make your donation, in the comments, write Nicole. And you can also text the word life, LIFE, to, let me get the number right, 435-294-3317. So that's text life to 435-294-3317. And that's if you don't have Venmo and you want to use a credit card or something. But either way, it's tax deductible. It's tax deductible, and it goes to a good cause. And doing it through this phone number or through Venmo, we don't have to also pay large fees like we do with GoFundMe or PayPal. So thank you so much for donating and for your support and for being on this event and supporting mental health and suicide. We're now going to have another training from John Gossett, and this training is about asking the question, which is when you've realized that someone is struggling, you have that conversation with them about what they're going through. So here's John.
Glad y'all stuck around. I'm excited to talk to you a little bit more about suicide prevention tonight. So if we've noticed those changes that we talked about in the way that they speak, we might want to have a conversation. So that's what I want to talk to you about. We are given little spidey senses, or have been whispered to by the Holy Ghost to let us know when something isn't right. And so if you have those senses and you recognize that you are getting the impression to talk to somebody, please do. Reach out to them. It doesn't have to be that you're a counselor or a psychiatrist. You just have to care. You have to have empathy. And I know you can do it. And so I always tell people, trust your gut. Reach out to them as if you're the only one that will, because you could be the one to make a difference in someone's life. So let's say you've got a family member or a friend or a loved one that you assume is thinking about suicide. It's really tough to get your mindset that you can ask them that question. Be direct. Just ask them. Say, and the one thing I want to preface this with is do it in private, one-on-one with that person, and say to them, hey, I've noticed that you're going through a lot right now. And you can be specific. I noticed that you're going through a breakup or a divorce or a change at work or whatever that thing is. Say, I noticed that you're going through this. And sometimes when people are going through hard things like this, they're thinking about suicide. Are you thinking about suicide? And you watch their body language. Sometimes they've been keeping it a secret for some time, and you'll notice their shoulders drop and they become more relaxed. And they are there to let you know that you're a safe person they can talk to. So sit back and listen. You don't need to solve their problems. You don't need to have all the answers, but you need to be able to sit back and let them know that you're a safe person and that conversation is going to be something they can trust you with. Listen to what they say. Sometimes all it takes is verbalizing those comments. All it takes is putting it out there to someone that cares that they're going through some hard stuff. And their hard stuff might be simple to you. It might only be hard to them. But sit back and listen to them. If they say that they are thinking about suicide, Ask them if they've got a plan. Have they put thought into it about how they would do it? And you know what? If you're that person and you're coming to them with empathy and love, you're not going to say the wrong thing. But avoid judgment, avoid belittling them, avoid trying to solve their problems, and let them speak. And you know what? If the answer is yes, that they're thinking about suicide, and the answer is yes, that they have a plan, then we need to connect them with someone immediately. Don't leave them. And when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about how to do what's called a handoff and get them to somebody that can actually walk them through the next step. Thanks again. We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you, John. Thank you for that training. Brought back a lot of memories about conversations I've had with people who are struggling, and conversations that I've had with people when I've been struggling. And those are tough and vulnerable conversations to have, but they're the tough conversations that we need to have. When you're talking, it reminded me of a story from Brene Brown, and Brene Brown has done some amazing work and research on shame and vulnerability, which is very closely tied to mental health. And I love her work. So if you haven't seen her TED Talk or read any of her books, I highly recommend them. But she tells a story about her daughter, and her daughter was in elementary school, and the teacher had a jar that was just a jar that was for the classroom. And when the students were being kind and loving each other and caring for each other, she would put marbles in the jar. And when the students were not doing those things, she would take marbles out. And Brene Brown said, and she said this to her daughter, but she also says it to all of us, that our relationships, that in each of our relationships, we have a jar for marbles. And she says, when a person that you have a relationship with, when they do those things that are caring and kind and build trust, they put marbles into that jar. And when they do not do those things, when they violate trust, they take those marbles out. And it's important to find marble jar friends. And I have a couple marble jar friends. I don't think many of us have a lot of marble jar friends, but I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for my marble jar friends. And Nicole is one of my marble jar friends. I know that I can trust her with anything. I know that she won't judge. And I know that that she has empathy and she will relate to anything I share with her. And we're going to hear from Nicole right now. And she's, like I said, she's doing much better. She just left the hospital. She did this video when she was, 1 or 2 days before she left the hospital. So thank you, Nicole, for taking the time to film this and speak to all of us. And I'm excited to hear from you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Hilton, and I apologize for my appearance. I'm in the hospital right now, and I just want to thank Ben Anderson for organizing this event. I think suicide awareness is very important, especially nowadays when even elementary school kids are thinking about and even attempting and committing suicide. So a little bit about my story and why I'm here in the hospital is on October 7th, I jumped from Webb Hill, which is in St. George, Utah, and I fell 100 feet and broke my neck and my back and ruptured many different organs. I hovered between life and death for several days. And I went to heaven. I remember that it was super green and that there was nothing but unconditional love there. And weeping willows. I love weeping willows. There were a lot of them. And I believe I met my Savior there. And he showed me what would happen if I didn't come back. And so I don't really remember that part, but I know it happened. And so I decided to come back. And I just want to say to all those who are contemplating suicide that there is an all-knowing being somewhere out there in the heavens who truly loves you and knows everything about you. And if you just hold on, it'll all be worth it in the end. I can tell you now that I am glad that I came back, even though I'm here in the hospital since, October 7th, I think. I am glad that I came back because there's so much to live for. There's so much to do. I realize that my work is not done.
Thank you, Nicole. So good to see you and to hear from you, hear your voice again. And I think it cut out there at the end, but I really appreciate you being willing to be part of this event and speak to everyone. We're now going to hear from Sadie Anderson, and Sadie is an amazing musician, songwriter, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say and a song that she's written specifically for mental health.
Hi everyone, my name is Sadie Anderson. I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of this event. I think it's really important, and yeah, I'm just really happy to be a part of it. So this song is a song that I actually wrote. It was originally inspired by, someone in my community actually suffered a pretty tragic and open physical tragedy, and it was really inspiring to me to see how my community came together just to love them and support them and just do literally anything that they could to help them. And so I started writing this song just kind of inspired by what I was seeing, but I couldn't finish it. And so then I ended up having a conversation with someone that I'm really close to and that really means a lot to me. And in that conversation, they opened up to me just about different things that they were dealing with in their personal life. And yeah, it was, I think that, as people, there's kind of that impulse where when someone we love tells us the things that's wrong with them, we want to fix them, right? And we want to tell them all the things that they need to do to be better. And instead of maybe stepping back and being like, no, I think it's my job just to listen right now, And so that's kind of what I finished this song about, is I finished writing it for all the people who are dealing with things that no one else really knows about. And I think just maybe a reminder to myself to just love them, because that's what people really need. And of course, a reminder to everyone that there are people who love them. So this is Love You Strong.
watched you throughout this year. Cry broken, silent tears. And I've been waiting in the corner, waiting for you to cry on my shoulder. And I know I'm just on the outside looking in, and you're facing storms I can't begin to comprehend. And I wish I could take it all away, 'cause I would. But even when I make mistakes, I remind you every day. When the weight keeps dragging you deeper and nightmares make you a believer that you're all alone and there's nowhere that you can run. When the world is turning to madness and you forget what you have, when you think you're too weak to travel this road that you're on, I will love you strong. And I know I'll never have the right things to say, and no magic words can take away your pain. But I'll fight for you and cry with you and never walk away. Yes, I'll stay with you and pray with you and hold you till you feel safe. When the weight is dragging you deeper and nightmares make you a believer that you're all alone and there's nowhere that you can run. When the world is turning to madness and you forget what you have, when you think you're too weak to travel this road that you're on, I will love you strong. And when you're sleeping, an army is keeping its watch on you. And when you can't see it, or faced with your demons, I'll hold the light to guide you through. When the weight is dragging you deeper and nightmares make you a believer that you're all alone and there's nowhere that you can run. When the world is turning to madness and you forget what you have, when you think you're too weak to travel this road that you're on, I will love you strong. I will love you strong. I will love you strong.
Guys, you kidding me? Like, this is awesome. This is better than I ever imagined. I got this idea 2 months ago, thinking about Nicole to put this event together to bring awareness to suicide and mental health, and I'm just blown away by the support and these amazing musicians and people who are speaking and sharing. And thank you so much for making this special. A reminder, if you want to donate to help Nicole and help her family, as they have so many medical expenses and need to change their entire lifestyle to make sure that Nicole's taken care of. I'm just so I'm so grateful for my aunt and uncle and for all they've done. And I know they would appreciate any help. They would never ask for money themselves. I know they want to ask, but I'm asking on behalf that you donate if you can. And it's tax deductible through the nonprofit Life's Worth Living. So you can Venmo them, put Nicole's name in the comments, or you can send a text to this number if you don't have Venmo. So thank you so much. And we're going to have a few more songs. And right now we're going to hear from Nate Terry, who's just an amazing person. And he studied film and video. So I know whatever he puts together video-wise is just the top. It's so good. And I'm excited to hear from him.
I'm so excited to be here tonight and to share music and inspiration and to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, which is mental health. And most of us, I feel like, have struggled with mental health at one time or another in our lives. And it's something that we should be talking about. You should never feel like you can't go get help. Everybody should get the help they need. If you broke your arm, you'd be in the doctor, you'd be getting help. And if you're feeling broken, then there is help available. I know for me, I've definitely felt broken before in my life. And I've definitely come to understand that it's okay for me to feel not okay at times. And the song that I'm going to sing today is called Grow As We Go by Ben Platt. And the reason I've chosen this song is because it's about feeling like you're pulling away from people and like you're not good enough and like you feel like you have to grow alone because, you know, you're broken and that's not acceptable to other people. And the truth could not be farther away from that, because we are here to support each other. We are here to grow together, and you are worthy and you are loved and you deserve to feel loved. So I hope you feel that today. And I'm going to sing Grow As We Go. Here we go. You say there's so much you don't know. You need to go and find yourself. You say you'd rather be alone, 'cause you think you won't find it tied to someone else. Ooh, said it's true that the growing only happens on your own. They don't know me and you. You don't ever have to leave if the change is what you need. You can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow. We'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. You won't be the only one. I am unfinished, I've got so much left to learn. I don't know how this river runs, but I like the company through every twist and turn. Ooh, said it's true that the growing only happens on your own. They don't know me and you. You don't ever have to leave if the change is what you need. You can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow. We'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as
written in the stars. But I believe that when it's done, you're gonna see that it was better that we grew up together. Tell me you don't have to leave, 'cause if change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow. We'll take it slow and grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go.
Thank you, Nate. What did I tell you? I love how good Nate is at video. I was able to do almost 20 videos with him last year, and just love what he does, and such an amazing voice and talent. Thank you for that. It helps to know how to talk about it, and that's why I'm really grateful for John Gossett for doing these trainings. And he's going to do another training now about the next step after you've talked to someone who's struggling, what you do after that. So here's John again.
So we found out that that person that you've spoken to is thinking about suicide, and they may or may not have a plan. But the most important thing for you to do right now is not leave them alone. You know, this is a commitment. When you are being this helpful person that's going to reach out to somebody that is struggling, you've got to give them the time. So we've listened to them, and now it's time to connect them with somebody that can actually take it to the next step and get them the help they need. Now, you could be at school, and you could say to this person, you know what? This sounds really hard. This is something that's really difficult, and I don't know that I have all the answers. So why don't we go talk to, and it could be a teacher, it could be a counselor. Maybe you're not at school. Maybe it's, we need to talk to your parents about this. Maybe it's a religious leader. Maybe it's a therapist. Maybe it's a counselor. So there are a wide range of options for most people. And so what I like to do is when I say, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I know that we can get somebody that can help us with this, because I care enough about you that I don't want anything to happen to you. And so sometimes what I'll do is say, well, let me tell you, there are some people that we could talk to, and I'll maybe list them off, name all of them. You know, we can see a church leader, we could see a counselor, a school teacher, a coach, a therapist, and then say, out of all those suggestions, who would you be most comfortable with? This allows them to be part of it. This allows them to be able to make these decisions that are about their life. And so throw out the options and say, you know, who can we talk to? And let them be a part of it. But make sure you get them the help they need. Now, if they have told you that they're suicidal and they've told you that they have a plan, we need to get help immediately. That might mean going to an emergency room. That might mean if you need a little extra help in getting them to agree to it with your encouragement, that might be, you know what, let's call the Lifeline. Now I'm going to give you this number. The number nationwide is 1-800-273-8255. You might want to write that down. 1-800-273-8255. And you can call that number and you can say, hey, this is John, and I'm here with my friend so-and-so, and I've just asked them if they are suicidal, and they've said yes. I asked them if they had a plan, and this is what they've told me. And I think we need a little bit more help. Are you able to help us? And make that handoff and give that phone to them. If you're at a different location, you can always do a 3-way phone call to get that person the help that they need. Use the Lifeline or get to an emergency room, because if they've told you they have a plan, it could be imminent that they need that help. So stay with them, stay focused on them, and listen. Show empathy. show caring, you will get them the help that they need. And when we come back, I want to talk about what you do after a loved one has made an attempt, how you talk to them, how you let them know that you care. So I'll see you back shortly. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John, again for that training, and thank you for all these trainings. I know you have one more that you've prepared, and I'm excited to see it and to learn more. I love that you mentioned the resources that are out there, and that there are resources if you are struggling, or if you know someone who is struggling, who doesn't think that life's worth living, who who needs a boost. There are resources out there, and he mentioned the suicide hotline. I wrote it down here: 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. So that's a great resource. And there's so many other resources. When we're in the darkness, the last thing we want to do is reach out, but it's the best thing we can do. And I know it's hard. One thing that's been very helpful to me is therapy. And I've been seeing a therapist for over 10 years, off and on. And even now, I see my therapist every week. And in 2 days, we're going to have a phone call, and he's going to say, how was the virtual event? How was the suicide awareness concert? And I'll say it was great, and I'm so grateful for all the people who have been supporting it and watching it. And he's been a great help. I've seen a lot of therapists, and I think that's a great resource, whether you're struggling or if if you're not struggling with depression or mental health, or suicidal thoughts or things like this. There's other things that we struggle with, and I do think therapy is a great resource and something that has blessed my life. So we're going to hear now from Lisa Benson, and Lisa Benson is she's just like an angel. Such a kind person and caring, and you're gonna hear some of the things she has to say and her song.
Hi everyone, I am Lisa Benson, and I am really, really honored to be a part of this benefit concert and share my thoughts and feelings and a favorite song of mine with all of you. This is such a sacred topic to me, mental health, because it has to do with our inner world, that thing that we experience that sometimes people on the outside can't see or understand fully. And that's really sacred to me. And I know that it's really sacred to God, because our feelings really matter to God. And sometimes, a lot of times, we get those voices, those lies that come at us to make us think that God doesn't care, that we're not important, that we're not good enough, and all sorts of other things that we get bombarded with that aren't really true. Even if they happen in our lives, they're based on a lie. And we might know that, but it still hurts and it still affects us, because we're hurting, because we're in a weak place, or we're exhausted, or we're depressed. And it's really hard to separate the truth from the lies sometimes. But I do know that God is carrying us, even if we can't feel it or understand it. He understands that he's carrying us. And that's a really important truth to hang on to when you're full of just darkness and trouble, The other thing I want to say is that sometimes you can look amazing. You can have nice hair, and you can wear cute clothes, or you can be really successful in your business, and you might smile a lot, and you might post a lot of great things on Facebook and Instagram, and yet you could be dying inside. You could be hurting, you could be angry, you could be wanting to check out, at any moment and no one would know. And I guess I just want to say, I know what that feels like. I've experienced some pretty heavy things in my life, but most people either don't believe me or they just can't comprehend it because they see how my life is in public or on Facebook or whatever. And it's not being fake. It's just, that's a part of my life I want to enjoy. But in my inner world, oh my goodness, I've experienced an extreme amount of darkness and depression, and it's heavy and it hurts. And so I guess I want to say, if you're feeling that way, I get you. I get it. And when we look at each other, let's not judge too quickly that someone might be suffering, because everyone is suffering in some way. Everyone is, and we know that. And I really know that Christ is with us every moment. He is next to us. He is helping us. He is teaching us. He's guiding us through it, especially if we listen. And you know what? You can be the smartest person in the world. You can be the most spiritual. You can know all the right things, and you can still experience extreme suffering and darkness and fear and doubt. I've been there. I've experienced it, and I got to know what that feels like, even though I have a strong testimony of the gospel, of truth, of light, of Christ. I've still experienced it. And so I just want you to know that there are people out there that understand if you're feeling that way, and you don't have to go by the outside. You know, we can help each other. We can really help each other. And the song that I chose to sing for you today is a really special one, because a lot of the lies that come at us let us know, oh, you're broken, you're unfixable, all these things have happened, or oh, you made all these choices and you'll never make it, you'll never be whole, you're always broken, right? And of course that's not true. If you were to take away all our burdens and all our problems, we are these beings of light and we are whole. And what we get to do is remember that wholeness. And so this song is about asking Christ to make us whole and to help us remember who he is and who we are. And that thought and that prayer really is healing for us. And so here is a song. I had to record it before this because I knew I would cry talking about these things. But this song is called Make Me Whole. And I hope you can just close your eyes and listen and feel God's love for you and know that he understands you and that he is already making you whole and helping you remember your wholeness. I love you. Thank you so much.
Touch my eyes and bid them see that my gaze might pierce the veil and behold the wondrous scene that in dreams I've long beheld. Oh, touch my heart and bid it know that every sorrow here is but a moment's tear, and thou wilt make me whole again. Touch my ears and bid them hear all the glory of thy truth, that my hope might come of faith and no more require proof. Oh, touch my heart and bid it know that while in darkness here ever near, and thou wilt make me whole again. Then touch my lips and bid them sing songs of everlasting praise, that my soul might then believe and give thanks through all my days. Oh, touch my heart and bid it know that every breath I take is by thy tender grace, and thou wilt make me whole, and thou wilt make me whole, and thou wilt make me whole again.
Thank you, Lisa, for that beautiful message and song. That's a song I've loved for a really long time, and a message that really resonates with me to want to be made whole. Actually, the first song I wrote, or one of the first ones, as a just dorky teenager, and I wrote this song about my crush, all this stuff. But I wrote a song called 80%, and just feeling like I'm not 100%. I'm not whole. And nowadays I don't even know if I'm 80%. That's quite a high number. But yeah, I think that's something we all can relate to, is wanting to be made whole and wanting to feel like we're good enough. And if you are feeling that, I want you to know that you are good enough, and that you are okay. And even if you're going through a hard time, there's people that you can talk to. And I want to thank John Gossett again for his trainings about how we can have those conversations. And he's going to do one more training right now. And I'm just so grateful to have partnered with Life's Worth Living Foundation. And again, please donate and please help Nicole and her family in a small way. Even if you donate a small amount, it helps. And if you do it through the Life's Worth Living Foundation, it's tax deductible, and we don't have any fees or anything. So all the money can go directly to Nicole and her family. So you can Venmo Life's Worth Living, or you can text LIFE to 435-294-3317. So thank you so much for everyone who's donated already, who's given, and for those who have given up their time to. I know there was the benefit dinner, who've helped Nicole in so many different ways. For those who have sent letters and packages, and I know it's very, very, very appreciated. And thank you for being part of this event. We have this training with John, and then we have one more song after that. So here's John.
So finally, you might have had a loved one that has made an attempt on taking their own life. That's a really hard spot to be in, because it's somebody you care about, somebody that you deeply love, or just a friend that means a lot to you. It's difficult to watch people go through hard things. But if you're out there and you're watching this, and you might have had an attempt, you might have felt that life was not worth living. I want you to know that I'm glad that you're still here. I'm glad that you're still on this earth because you're needed. All of us are needed. So I think the biggest tragedy that comes with an attempt is that people just are scared about saying the wrong thing, not knowing how to talk to the person after they know that they've hit that point in their life where they felt that life was not worth living. So I think some of the things that those people need to hear, which I'm sure if you're in that position, you feel, is to let the people know that you love them. Let the person know that you love them and that you are glad that they are still here with us. You know, let them know that you need them. Let them know how important they are to you. It's very important to let them know that it's okay to not be okay. But you know what? Unfortunately, when people are not okay, they try to carry it all on their own shoulders and they isolate and they withdraw. So it's important to let someone know, listen, if it ever gets to that point again, come to me and talk to me because I care. You know, we're taught that we should bear each other's burdens, and that's exactly what most of us want to do. I mean, we would much rather help bear burdens than lose somebody that we love. And so let them know that they're needed. Let them know that you're here. Let them know that if they just need a day to get out, they just need to be with somebody, to get out and do something, that you're that person to call you. You know, don't be afraid to talk to somebody after an attempt because that's what they need the most. I have a really good friend, Seth Adam Smith, who made an attempt in his 20s, and he told me a very touching story about his mother and his brother, actually. His brother came by after he returned home from the hospital and just sat with him. They just watched movies. And Seth said, listen, if you think I'm going to take my life again, you're okay, you can go home. And he said, Seth, I almost lost my brother today. I'm not going anywhere. After his attempt, his mother, she could keep an eye on him all day long. But at night when he would go to bed, she didn't have eyes on him. She worried. So for months, Seth's mother slept on the floor next to his bed to make sure that he was okay. And you know, this is what we need to do. We need to communicate to that person that they're loved. Sometimes you can do it by showing it, like Seth's mom and his brother. Sometimes you have a way that you can verbalize it, and it doesn't matter. They're going to feel your love. As long as it comes from here, they're going to feel it, and they're going to know that you care. And I hope that's what all of us can do to make a difference in somebody's life, to let them know that life is worth living and that you're there for them. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of tonight, and I hope that this event for Nicole is a success. Thanks so much for allowing me to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you again, John, and thank you for all the trainings and all the help and for partnering with all of us doing this event. And thank you for everyone who's been involved. It's something that I couldn't have done myself, and I haven't done myself. Everyone has really put in a lot of time, and I'm just grateful for that. This final musical number and words of encouragement come from Nicole's brother Levi and his wife Becky, Levi and Becky Hilton, and I'm very excited to have them be a part of this and share some things about Nicole and about what they're going through. This, their family's gone through so much, and just so grateful for the way that the family, the extended family, has all sort of rallied around Nicole and to help her and support her family in a really beautiful way. And I'm just grateful for that. And I'm excited to hear from Levi and Becky Hilton.
Hi everyone, we are here from colorful Colorado, and we are so excited to be with everyone today, especially for an event that's supporting and bringing awareness to mental health and in support of Nicole Hilton. I'm Rebecca Hilton.
And I'm Levi Hilton. I'm her brother. and I'm also an emergency medicine physician. Just want to talk a little bit about mental health from a medical perspective. In the ER, we deal with a lot of mental health issues. It seems like, especially in the past year, a lot of people dealing with stress, anxieties, depression, and unfortunately, we deal with a lot of suicides and suicidal ideation. For someone to get that low and that depressed has to be one of the worst things in the world. You know, it's a primal instinct to try to preserve your life, and to feel that hopeless, that you feel like that's the only option, is really sad, and it's one of those things that we have to deal with in the emergency room, but a lot of people have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And Nicole certainly had to deal with that struggle for much of her life. I've tried to help her as a brother and also as a physician, working with her. And certainly when her attempt happened a few months ago, it was devastating and difficult to deal with. But I want to focus more about the courage and the strength and the resolve that people that deal with mental health to this degree exhibit when they choose to continue fighting, when they choose to stay. In Nicole's case in particular, we had given her a blessing after her injury, after her attempt. You know, she had an injury list about 40 lines deep, and as a physician, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone make a comeback when it looked that bad and that dire. But we gave her a blessing, and I felt very prompted to bless her that the Lord loved her, and that He accepted her unconditionally and would continue to honor her choice, that He hadn't stopped her up until that day, and that He would continue to honor her in choosing to stay with Him, or to choose the harder fight and to return home and face the new challenges that she had. It's almost like I could see her stuck between this choice with paradise on one side, with its beauty and its unconditional love and peace, and a broken body on the other, and weeping family and people that just loved her and wanted her to come back. It's my testimony and my belief that she actually made that choice, that she had the opportunity to leave, and certainly it looked like she was close enough to leave, but that she made that choice and she came back and continued to fight. And for her and for others that continue to make that daily choice, that choice to fight the fight, it's just amazing to me, and just want to congratulate them and her, and to share that.
And that's exactly the choice of the song that I'm going to perform for you all in a few minutes. It's a song written by Kenneth Cope and Julie Acevedo, called Daughter Arise. And it's a song that's touched my heart since I first heard it when I was a little girl. It's based on the biblical story of how a father and a ruler was desperate to have Christ raise his daughter from the dead. And it's from her perspective, where she had passed on, or at least was in a deep sleep and coma, and she experienced paradise and all the beauties and the blessings of that. And yet she was presented a choice to come back and to be a miracle. To be a miracle. And that's exactly what we all have to do. We have a mission, we have a plan. Heavenly Father has a beautiful plan for each of us. And I am so grateful to have witnessed so many miracles in my life, but also for Nicole and the miracle that she is, and for everyone that makes that choice, that really hard choice sometimes. Some of the words in this song have really touched us since Nicole's experience, and I'm just going to read a couple of them as you'll listen and watch in a few minutes. But she's just singing and saying from her perspective that she's in a world of perfect white, but they say that I'm not here to stay. The Lord has chosen me to bring glory to his name. I must go and be his miracle and leave this paradise when the master says, daughter, arise. And as the song progresses, you'll hear how instead of it's, I must go and do this, even though I don't really want to because this place is so beautiful, she is gladly doing this because she knows that Heavenly Father and Jesus have such a wonderful plan for her. And she's made that choice on her own. And it is our testimony that we all have had these choices and we continue to make these choices every day to be Christ's miracles. And we hope you enjoy this musical presentation.
Did you feel anything? What did you feel?
I felt unconditional acceptance and love. More so than anywhere on this planet.
I'm glad you decided to come back to us.
Me too.
We're so glad you're here. We love you.
Free, I won't hurt again. I fly into the light, and greeting me, friends I cannot name, in a world of perfect light. But they say that I'm not here to stay. The Lord has chosen me to bring glory to his name. I must go and be his miracle and leave this paradise when the master says, daughter, arise. Peace like I've never known, and still I understand why I must leave this heavenly home to fulfill a higher plan. I see Mother grieving over me, while Father pleads with Jesus to take me by the hand. I will gladly be his miracle and leave this paradise when the master says, daughter, arise. Now I go to be his miracle and leave this world of light when the master calls, daughter,
Try and catch me. Oh, well, look, now she's going. Woohoo! Crash turn. Keep going. Come on.
Is there someone pushing me from behind?
No, you're doing it.
There was.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Keep going. Come on.
Did you see anybody?
Maybe it was an angel.
Yeah.
Now I go to be his miracle and leave this world of light when the master calls, daughter,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everyone watching this. Thank you for everyone who's been a part of this, and for all those behind the scenes who have been helping me and encouraging me. My wife, my friends, Cause Green, who's done events like this in the past and who's been an advisor. My friend Colton Mortensen, who's helped us with the audio and made sure that we all sound good. My therapist, and so many people for helping put this on. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for donating to help Nicole and her family. Thank you for wanting to learn and wanting to listen and be a part of this event and such a very, very important topic, especially, this last year. We've had so much going on in the world, and so many people have struggled with mental health and suicidal thoughts. And I hope that 2021 has a lot of healing and a lot of wonderful things in store for everyone watching this, especially for Nicole as she continues healing, for anyone who's been impacted by suicide in their family or friend circles. I know some of you on this call have had siblings die by suicide. I know some of you on this call have had parents who have died by suicide, and friends and children who have taken their lives. And thank you for watching this. Thank you for supporting this event. Thank you for being people who I've been able to talk to as as I've personally seen what's happened with Nicole and mourned, and I'm just grateful that she's doing better, and I hope that all of you are doing okay. And if you need to talk, you can always send me a message, give me a phone call. You're probably watching this on Facebook, so you can see my Facebook account. And I know there's many people who are those marble jar friends who are willing to listen, who are willing to talk. So thank you everyone for being part of this. I wish you a wonderful evening, wonderful year in 2021. And to finish, I just put this song, There Will Be Miracles, as you were watching that video that Levi and Becky put together. I'm sure you saw the green shirt that Nicole was wearing, and there was those words, there will be miracles. And that's been a motto that Nicole's had for a long time, and we've kind of taken that as a motto, that there will be miracles, and that there will be hope, and that there will be healing. And this is a song that I wrote for Nicole called There Will Be Miracles, and I thought this would be a good way to sort of end everything. And I want to thank you again. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.
She was sick for over 12 years, spent all her money trying to get well. When she heard of all the miracles, she knew that she had found one who can heal. If she could only just get near him as he walked along the street. She reached out and he said, somebody touched me. There will be hope, there will be peace. The sun will rise again from the east. No matter where you are, in the darkest of grief, he's He's reaching out to lift you on your feet. There will be miracles. There will be miracles. She suffered pain and anguish with 7 demons in her soul. There was one who had the power to make her whole. He knew of her true value, cast out the darkness one by one, so she'd become the woman she was meant to become. There will be hope, there will be peace. The sun will rise again from the east. No matter where you are, in the darkest of grief, He's reaching out to lift you on your feet. There will be miracles. He raised the dead, He healed the lame, He caused the blind to see. He walked upon the waters, calmed the seas. But the greatest of them all, He did for you and me. There will be hope. There will be peace, and the sun will rise again from the east. No matter where you are, in the darkest of grief, He's reaching out to lift you on your feet, with love extending from Gethsemane. There will be miracles. There will be miracles.